at different points of time for a lot of corruption cases. Even now, there are undergoing investigations. Many of them are convicted too. Then the party that claimed that one day it will make the Yamuna like the Thames, and now it has become a toxic dump yard. The Sheesh Mahal became a symbol of profligacy. And for every malady in the state, it was a state where even in 2014, where Indian economy was only half our the current size, a 2 trillion economy, then itself Delhi was a state that had a surplus of around 10,000 crores.
Right.
And this year, the projections show that this, for the first time ever, it is going to have a deficit.
Did you also?
So there was massive misgovernance. There was massive misgovernance, and for every malady, the Aam Aadmi Party was either saying that the center is
we have a reaction. There is a
blaming the
reaction.
LG. The people are tired of. The people are.
Anna Hazare has said that Arvind Kejriwal did not heed my advice. But let me ask you what worked for the BJP. Did the BJP this time, rather than nationalize the election, localize the election? Because we saw each group, each community, every part of Bharat which is residing in Delhi being addressed. Even Malayali associations were addressed. Telugu groups were addressed. Marathi groups were addressed. Each group, each person by big weights may have prominent faces of the BJP. Did you really localize the election this time, and did that help you?
See, Delhi is the Dil of India. It is like a microcosm of entire India. You have all, like you look at Delhi, like you have people from everywhere. There are almost like 3-4 lakh Malayalis in Delhi, like every other state. And this time, you look at what we have done in the last 10 years, we have created almost, our Prime Minister himself has initiated over 300 plus schemes that is meant to reach every household, where almost every household are Labharthis of 6-7 schemes of us. There are from the Awas Yojana to Jal Jeevan Mission to Swachh Bharat Mission to even the Ayushman Bharat project, where almost 50 crore plus beneficiaries are there across India. After the third win we had in the Lok Sabha, we ensured that everybody over 70, they are going to get blanket free insurance coverage. And in Delhi, what happened? One of the 2-3 states which actually decided that this particular scheme won't be available for the people. So we wanted to ensure that we reach out to every single household, just like we have been doing across India. And yes, we did put a lot of effort on the ground.
I want to ask Abhinandita a question. Abhinandita, what we have seen, and we've shown this on the Magic Wall since the morning, you've lost vote amongst key vote banks, lower class voters, Juggi Jopadi voters, women voters, Purvanchali voters. These were all solid vote banks of the Aam Aadmi Party. You've eroded that to the BJP. How and why and from where will you start again? Mr. Kejriwal could likely lose his seat, New Delhi.
Now, there are many people to give credit to for this situation. I mean, starting from the LG to, like all the agencies, as I said earlier, the way, the people of Delhi were made to suffer in these last 3 years. I mean, there was, of course, COVID, and after that, just the arrests and just completely, not letting the government work. And we've all been in the government, worked in the Sachivalaya to know how things were literally like stalled. So I think that there are many factors. One is, of course, the BJP's propaganda machinery is much stronger. Also, I think that people genuinely, did want to vote for the Aam Aadmi Party, or perhaps have, and we will have to only wait till 6 p.m. to analyze this better. And, obviously these will be concerns for us as well. We will look at every demographic, every gully, every booth to see what has happened.
You think,
but I think we would wait.
Is it also possible, you think, Abhinandita, that a large number of people in Delhi were just sick and tired of this cat fight that was going on a daily basis between state and center, and they said, okay, fine, if that means giving, the same party power in both state and center, then so be it.
That is what the people were made to feel. There was a reason why the government was stalled. There was a reason why, their gullies and nalas could not be cleaned as we would have liked to. That this is all happening by design is something that we have to remember and worth paying attention to, I think. Whether or not people understand the chronology, we get 67, we get 62, and after that, that if you let Arvind Kejriwal work, there is no way you can defeat him. There is no way you can beat the work of the Aam Aadmi Party, because it's actually serving the people. It's doing unprecedented work, for the poor section, for women. So, I mean, obviously BJP had to do everything it can in its capacity and with all its might to stop Arvind Kejriwal. And what the people have decided, we will know later, but we will accept it with due respect.
Well, beyond the optics and beyond the posture as far as television screens and media and as a spokesperson is concerned, I hope that there is a realistic introspection that did somewhere this Kejri model of governance led down the people of Delhi and did the politics of perception also hurt, because Anna Hazare Abhinandita ji has just now said that Arvind Kejriwal seemed swayed by money and power. He did not heed my advice. That coming from the man who stood right next to Arvind Kejriwal in the India Against Corruption movement 12 years later should be perhaps a message. And somewhere did Sheesh Mahal, did the Yamuna aspect, did some of these aspects come back to hurt Mr. Kejriwal despite perhaps his best intentions and the AAP's best intentions for Delhi. And the other thing is, Delhi is your fountainhead. Delhi is your base that allowed you to become a national party in less than a decade. And that losing Delhi today could also hurt your prospects in other states, including Punjab, Gujarat, and some of the other places where you had aspirations. I'm just going to open it into our panel here and ask them their thoughts. Chetan Bhagat, your thoughts, would you anything you'd like to?
Yeah, okay. So here's
46-24 as we speak. Yeah, go
so
ahead.
some of the things is because what the BJP did right, and some, like in tennis, they say
Unforced errors.
Unforced errors.
Unforced
by
errors.
AAP. So I think let's just make a list of that. So BJP did, like I said, Army, Navy, Air Force. RSS worked, Prime Minister made appeal. They were allies, big wigs, money, promises, attack on AAP, attack on Arvind Kejriwal. Even the union budget was used to kind of give an edge in the Delhi election. It became personal. And now let's look at the unforced errors. Well, the first one is they went to Gujarat. You know, there's a book called 48 Laws of Power, very famous book. You know what the first law is? Never outshine the master. You know, and that's something to think
And he
about.
looks at Rahul
I
when
mean,
he
nobody
says
will tell them this, but this is the honest truth. You know, and then on the ground level, they lost touch. They didn't do any alliance with Congress. He didn't resign and hand over power gracefully so that Delhi runs properly. And I think there's certain incongruence with image. We've had Shauqeen politicians. We've had politicians. मैं शादीशुदा नहीं हूँ, कुंवारा भी नहीं हूँ, right? We've had, and
पर ब्रह्मचारी नहीं
the public
ब्रह्मचारी नहीं
something like that. So the public accepts. The point is to be congruent. If you say, I can only afford a muffler and a shirt and a Wagoner or whatever, and then you build a luxurious house, it just rankles more. I mean, the Prime Minister of our country has never made those things. So when he sits inside a Range Rover, it's good. He's our Prime Minister. What should he sit in? You know, what do you want India's Prime Minister to sit in? But when you start being incongruent, you know, that's the issue. There is no problem in being little rangeen, you know, but you then say that, listen, I am in Chief Minister, I need a nice house. I need space. I have meetings there. Now we do work from home. I mean, you know, we need a nice house. I don't know about the jacuzzi still, but how you justify that to people. But that's
also work from home.
So you do all these things. There's lot of unforced errors. And like I said, the BJP threw the kitchen sink at this election because it must be difficult. Imagine Rahul Shavshankar is the Prime Minister, right? He drives out of his house.
Look at the
or
smile
goes
on
for
his
a walk,
face. He said that.
Goes for the walk, does his yoga, whatever, comes out, and then he sees a bus stop and there's Arvind Kejriwal's face there. You know, dude. And you call, how can we take care of this? I mean, we can't win this little state with 70 seats and we're winning 3 times. So it is personal, and they did a good job this time. You know?
The party which was a behemoth, the biggest political party in the world, has learned from mistakes. And the party which is supposed to be the startup in this mix, 10 years in existence, nimble, supposed to be light-footed, and has perhaps tapped into a space unoccupied by other political parties, seems to have not learnt and understood from...
That's the reason they are the largest, right? Because they're learning from your mistakes. How else do you don't come first in class by just sitting good that half term mein first aa gaya. No, final mein bhi first aana hai. Final के बाद जो अगला tutorial है उसमें भी first आना है. My 5 takeaways quickly, I'll just run through them because RSS had the 5 ones. So I'll just do the 5. That phenomenal recovery for the BJP in Delhi from 8 to 46 currently. So that is like, I think, unbelievable, literally, you know. Most people didn't think they would reach this level. Second is, I think, reversal of the narrative of 2024 that the BJP is done and dusted and it's the NDA and the BJP story is over in the country, not the party of choice for Indians. Subsequent elections, one after the other, Haryana, Maharashtra, Delhi, they've said that that narrative of 2024 has been reversed. Third point is that the era of revolutionary politics, which started with Anna, which you just ran, that seems to be not appreciated anymore. People want their civic issues, especially in the metro areas and the city state and the bonsai state, as you're calling. If you don't deliver on those basic issues, sewage, water, all that we've gone through in the past 3 hours, if you don't deliver, that's gone. Fourth one, which I want to say, is that India alliance is dead before the first anniversary. I don't believe that they can recover from this because they are going to go separate pathways. Which way it goes is anybody's guess. My guess is that a third front alliance might take shape before the Bihar elections. The fifth one is nothing changes for the Congress. They were zero, they still are zero.
Nothing. Yes, Nalin.
So, first takeaway, the BJP is back, baby. In the sense that the BJP, which seemed, and Smita is right, which seemed to have lost, while it won 2024, seemed to have run into a roadblock, seemed to have lost momentum. That momentum is now back. It not only got reversed the losses with Haryana and Maharashtra, but Delhi, I think the wind is behind the BJP sails again, even more so than it was after Maharashtra. So the Iqbal of the BJP in that sense is
so
back.
BJP is back as the masthead and says Delhi mein dil, Delhi ke dil, Delhi mein BJP.
I think the reason I'm saying that is also because the key, from a national politics point of view, the key voter demographics which seem to be breaking away from BJP, or where it saw erosion of support.
47-23.
Some elements of the middle class. There was significantly among Dalit voters. And among the lower income strata, right? That seems to have come back, or BJP recovered lost ground there. We saw that in Maharashtra, we saw it in Haryana, we've seen that in Delhi now. Third, caste politics, which is what Rahul Gandhi has been talking about for the longest time, the caste census and so on. No resonance of that in Delhi. I think the Congress remains dead in the water. The Congress, which seemed like the back in the challenging game, it was the Congress revival had kind of started, looked like a year back. All of that has been wiped out. The Congress is back to where it started before that. There is a tectonic shift in Delhi's politics. After 25 years, for 25 years, the voters of Delhi did not trust the BJP at the state government level, although they always voted the BJP at the national level. This time, they've listened to Modi's appeal saying, "Is baar hum pe ek baar vishwas karke dekhiye." So I think that is a major shift. And Modi remains the king of Indian politics.
I think the biggest shift, for me, is that the BJP got out of MCD and is in the state. That's what's happened. So for so many years, when the Congress was in power, AAP was in power, the BJP was in MCD, the BJP gets out of MCD, and then somewhere it reflects. Abhijit.
Yeah. The biggest takeaway is that BJP has learned from 2024, June 4th. BJP has got the states formula right. I mean, it used to be a party which is extremely strong at the center, but in some states it would struggle. State after state, it's doing extremely well. The Prime Minister has leans back in the state campaigns these days, is not all out there. Local issues are, the cadre is involved, RSS is involved. That is one. Two is, AAP's defeat is a big jolt to political entrepreneurship, especially the way it is going out in Delhi with its mojo lost in terms of corruption issues. That it should not have. I mean, freebies, not delivering enough, etc. One can understand, but the corruption allegations will haunt it badly.
Right.
India may see a slight, if not a definitely not a full rollback, but a readjustment of the freebie culture. We may see. AAP was the biggest champion of it. Fourth is, I still believe that Congress has an opportunity to more strongly occupy the opposition space, but Congress never allows itself not to be disappointed. So, never lets go of an opportunity to let itself down. And finally, this gives Mr. Modi a chance to recast Delhi as a showcase capital to the world. I mean, he probably, which is why he so desperately wanted to win an election which is almost mayoral. Otherwise,
But tell me, Abhijit, I mean, I want to take this forward, right? What are the elections that are coming up? You have Bihar, a crucial ally there.
Bengal.
BJP, yeah, you got Bengal, which is again almost like an ideological project for the BJP. They've never won in Bengal. You have the southern states, you've got Tamil Nadu, Kerala, etc. going to polls next year. Does the BJP, what is the lesson that the BJP takes away from Delhi? I mean, Kejriwal had a kabza over Delhi for almost, 11, 12 years. Can they take lessons from here in a way to challenge Mamata in Bengal, to challenge DMK in Tamil Nadu,
yeah, I mean,
LDF, UDF in
the
Kerala?
impossible states now BJP actually could look at, with a lot more optimism, like Bengal, Kerala, Punjab, Tamil Nadu.
Right.
These four look impossible, but who knows? As Rahul was saying, Punjab don't write BJP.
I just want to make a point. The fact that the BJP was looking shaky and perhaps beginning to question itself after 2024 Lok Sabha was because in the Hindi belt, where it had 90% of conversion, that's where, which is really its bastion, from there it looks beyond, That bastion was looking a little fragile. Now with Delhi, the only Hindi heartland state really, or as Nalin says, a bonsai state, nonetheless, winning that means that it can go back and say, okay, that genuinely was a bit of an aberration, we've got to guard against it, but now we are consolidating where we have actually begun from. The reverse of the
Do you think the BJP can use this to emerge as a serious challenger in Punjab, for example?
I would still, I would say don't write it off. There will be a little bit of momentum, but we'll have to look at the Sikh vote, we'll have to look at other factors, but most importantly, I don't think we should jump to Bengal and to Tamil Nadu, which will be the next cycle in early 25. I think let's hold our horses till then. What this gives the BJP really is that platform it needs. Now my base is consolidated. I know that even in Uttar Pradesh, that big, poll in Milkipur that I needed to win to signal to my cadre that look, we're back. Yeah. That confidence now.
More than 25,000 votes there. Mustafabad 38,583. 46-24 is the score. Arvind Kejriwal in the 9th round of counting, trailing by 1,100 votes now. That's the story. Manish Sisodia is leading, Gopal Rai is leading, but Atishi is also trailing. Let's quickly go. Shalimar Bagh, BJP leading by 24,780 votes. Yes, Griha.
Okay, we've got two winners that have been announced. One from the Bharatiya Janata Party, Vishwas Nagar. We have a winner, Om Prakash Sharma of the BJP has won. Kondli, we have an Aam Aadmi Party winner. Kuldeep Kumar has won from Aam Aadmi Party. And more updates on the leads. GK, we have an important update. Saurav Bhardwaj is still trailing by just 1,000 votes. That's how less the margin has become. Also, Rohini Virendra Sachdeva is leading now by over 17,000 votes. So another advantage, BJP. Kejriwal, like you mentioned, Anand, 1,170 votes, still trailing. Shakur Basti, another drawback for the Aam Aadmi Party. Satyendra Jain is trailing now by 15,000 votes. It's round 6 of counting that's happening.
So all the big guns except for Manish Sisodia of the Aam Aadmi Party are trailing, and this will hurt the AAP. It's going to dent. It's a big message coming in from the people of Delhi. There are other updates coming through. Amanatullah is leading by 88,725 votes right at the bottom of the screen. Last, you can see the news flashes. Sisodia leading by 3,869.
How much was Atishi trailing by? Griha, if I can go back to you. She's still trailing. She hasn't led even once since morning. But how much is she trailing by? Do we have an update on Kalkaji?
Do we have an update on Kalkaji? Please tell me the update on Kalkaji.
3,000.
3,000.
3,000 votes. So she's
3,231. She's still trailing.
No. So right now, look at the numbers. Ramesh Biduri says my number was 46. We are right now at 46-24. Ramesh Biduri also said that I am confident I will win. So right now, Atishi is trailing by 3,000. Pravesh Verma says Arvind Kejriwal har rahe hain. Sandeep Dixit says Arvind Kejriwal har rahe hain. Arvind Kejriwal trailing by 1,179 rounds gone. 4 more rounds to go, and these are all the pro-BJP booths, not the pro-AAP booths, as Smita Prakash was telling us. Big message this has gone out to for the entire, I keep saying, Kejri model of governance, and they will have to recalibrate. Now, this will, somewhere in the national, is this not plotting the Lok Sabha?
Yeah, we
Similar,
could look
the
at
BJP?
we could look at how the Lok Sabha played out. So this is 2025 Vidhan Sabha, 2024 Lok Sabha is more or less the same. The only difference you see is a bunch of blues here, but then AAP and Congress were in alliance at that time. Right now in the Vidhan Sabha there is 0 blues, there is 0 seats to the Congress party, but the rest of it is pretty much the same. I think what the BJP has done is take away classes of voters. I'll start with the lower income groups. In the lower income groups, the BJP has managed to get a substantial hold. Out of those 32 seats, the BJP's got 19, the Aam Aadmi Party has only got 13. Let's look at some of the middle income groups, the middle class, which was always a BJP sort of kabza, as it were. Again, firmly with the BJP. Out of 28 seats, BJP has 20, Aam Aadmi Party has only 8. The women voter that Rahul keeps talking about, where the women turned up in larger numbers, proportionally speaking, in those 41 constituencies, BJP 26, Aam Aadmi Party only 15. Just a quick check also of the Muslim constituencies, where the Muslim voters are in excess of 30%. There, it seems like the AAP has a slight edge, 6 seats to the AAP and 4 to the BJP. Also, a big community vote that's gone as far as the BJP is concerned is the Jat influence seats. And these are again in the outskirts of Delhi. 12 seats that are Jat dominant, 11 of them the BJP is leading in currently. 1 AAP is currently leading in. Also, a quick check of the Purvanchal voters. Again, there used to be a big AAP base. There again, it is the BJP with a massive lead. Out of 25 Purvanchal dominant seats, BJP has 18, AAP only 7. So basically, across communities, across strata of society, the BJP is simply chipped away at the AAP.
So in Kalkaji, it's very interesting. Sorry, in Kalkaji, very interesting
Okla Amanatullah
statistic.
leading by
In
8,000 votes.
Kalkaji, Ms. Atishi is trailing by about 3% of
3,000
the
votes,
vote. Yeah, 3% of the vote, because about 1 lakh and a little bit went to vote there. And the number of women that exceeded the number last time, the turnout, was by 3%. Interesting number. Interesting number. Just
whether or
leaving it out
not
there.
they have voted for the BJP and against Atishi is still there, but yeah, it's a good. But somewhere, would you agree that the BJP has been able to break into the core voter or the strongholds? Now, the confidence that Arvind Kejriwal had on the women voter, that's been busted. Smita Prakash?
Totally.
Look, I'm just looking, you can't now say that the women are voting in one particular manner. There are many issues which has prompted women voters to work. So you can't see this as one amorphous entity. You know, I think there are many things that worked. You can't say Purvanchalis voted also, because you look at the sweep that has had. But you know, I was looking at what somebody pointed out about what's going to happen in the elections that are going to come. In 2025, Bihar goes to elections. I think there's going to be a little more muscle flexing by the BJP in this NDA alliance. 2026, Assam goes to polls. They're already there. 2026, Kerala goes to polls. I wonder whether BJP can do anything in Kerala by 2026. Too quick, they'll need an ally. Even in Tamil Nadu, I think in 2026, they'll still need an ally. 2026, West Bengal, all eyes, because I don't think they're going to go with an ally. They're going to go one-on-one against Mamata. In Goa, they're already there. That's 2027. Punjab 2027, they have 2 more years. Are they going to go back with Sukhbir, back with Akali Dal, because now Sukhbir is not there, so it's a wrong thing to say, but Akali Dal. Is Akali Dal going to say, okay, let's go with the BJP, because otherwise it's difficult to take on the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress? You know, they're fighting for number 3 position, if at all, if they don't align with the BJP. Will the BJP take a secondary seat? I've always wondered whether Delhi election was some kind of a tacit understanding with the Congress that we will not fight we will not fight you in Punjab. You can take on the Aam Aadmi Party there. Here, let us take on the Aam Aadmi Party, and you.
No, why would that be? Why would that be? I think for the longest time, this was because of what Prakash Singh Badal did for the BJP and the Jansangh at that time.
Overtly, yes.
During the emergency, and that was the reason why the BJP was happy playing second fiddle to the SAD.
Look, BJP works in many levels.
No,
right?
but Smita, you heard what the Prime Minister said. Even before he came back and said a Viksit Delhi for a Viksit Bharat, he had said कि पंजाब में भी अब इनको तकलीफ होगी, पंजाब में भी BJP आएगी. He said this after Haryana. After the Haryana victory, the PM had talked about Punjab. And he said that the BJP will start working in Punjab. And the BJP is going to
It takes 5 to 6 years for BJP Karyakartas to have that ground network.
It's not it's about intent. What I'm trying to say is it's about intent. The BJP did not have any, it went from 7 to 77 in Bengal. It did, right? So because it went and said, okay, I want to get 200 seats. They got 77. You may say, why did you promise us 200 seats? But the fact is that unless you aim for the Everest, you won't climb a tree. That's the same thing that the BJP is doing. It's giving its Karyakartas a direction and want to go. And Punjab is a border state. One needs control of the border states to be able to regulate the border states. And we know that there are industries that are moving out of Punjab today. There is an issue of secessionism, there is an issue of drugs, there is an issue of lawlessness, there is an issue of illegal immigration. Look at it. The people who've been sent back from the US, who've been deported, where are the bulk of them coming from? Who are being blamed? So there are issues which are of national impact also, which are emanating from Punjab.
But
so
that way they don't have
think
Kashmir under there. It is Omar Abdullah's NC which is out there.
No, but there
So
is an administered, there is
an
an LG offer, and 5 years under abrogation of 370. What did they do? They tried to regulate the law and order system. Law and order continues to be under the LG
I'm
office
not disputing the intent, but what I'm saying is that enough time for them to set themselves up in there? I don't deny that the Prime Minister is saying this, and sure, he has to enthuse his cadres to win every state. But will Punjab become a BJP state? I don't know, because they don't seem to have their cadres in place as yet.
I think there is agreement that it could soon become a non-AAP state.
There's one thing that I want to put out there, and perhaps Nalin will help me on this by bearing me out on the facts. Correct me if I'm wrong. In Haryana, in Maharashtra, and now in Delhi, some of the backward classes have come back. Yes. Now, this has an implication really, because what has Rahul Gandhi's politics been centered around? Yeah. Which is caste, caste, and more caste. Has the BJP been able to sort of establish its own connect and therefore somehow nullified this card?
Yes. So, Rahul, for the last 10 years, the BJP's expansion was driven by its advances into the other backward classes and elements of the Dalit classes, right? What we saw an erosion of that last year with the Congress because of the whole issue of Constitution Khatre mein and all that.
Yes.
There is no doubt about the fact that in Haryana and in Maharashtra, the BJP got the result it did because it recovered its support base to a large extent in some areas, to some extent in other areas, but it got its mojo back among backward classes in Maharashtra and Haryana. So
this is all happening in the backdrop of
absolutely,
very contentious debates in Parliament where the BJP has been accused of letting down the backward caste, the Dalits, and so on and so forth.
In terms of representation at the party level, at the state levels and BJP governments, the representation of OBCs and SCs in BJP is far higher than any other national party at the moment. The issue where the BJP suffered from was from a narrative that the constitution will be changed, and this is only elephant's teeth. The reality is that they're really against all of these guys and it's upper caste dominance. What the BJP has done is it's fought on the ground with RSS cadres, with BJP workers, and it's kind of created a counter narrative saying, look, this is not true.
Okay.
And we are seeing the result of that.
Kamru Chaudhary is here with us.
But
Kamru
just
Chaudhary,
quickly, pay attention to the bottom of the screen, the leads. Kejriwal trailing by 1,170
this is
votes.
looking bad.
Kapil Mishra is leading by 31,000 votes. Mustafabad, BJP candidate, leading by 40,000 votes. Amanatullah leading by 10,715 votes. So there are local strongholds also.
And what
local
about Sisodia? Where is
Sisodia
he
is right now.
He's leading by about 3,000 votes.
3,000. So I think he's
become leader of the opposition.
Yeah, well, yes. Well, he got the safe seat. Maybe Kejriwal should have gone there. I don't know. But that's a tight one, though. Tight one.
Kamru Chaudhary.
But Kamru Chaudhary, let me just quickly bring you in. Nalin Mehta pointing it out. Rahul Gandhi has been pitching the BJP against the backward castes, backward classes, saying kuch nahi kiya. You have betrayed them, caste census, this, that, the other, whether it's Maharashtra, whether it's Haryana, and now Delhi. Okay, Delhi BJP, that's the war room. That's the war room. Let's quickly talk about that. Anand, if
Yeah,
you want to
Laddu
take over.
Batre, Bajant Panda, you spoke with him and see they're all there. Virendra Sachdeva is there, the think tank is there, Pratyush Kant is there, Rohan Gupta, some of the spokespersons, national spokespersons, Delhi BJP spokespersons, people who have worked hard in the behind in the war room. Pradeep Bhandari should be joining us. Some of them, Rajiv Babbar, and some of these people were also part of the narrative setting team. So Pradeep, Rajiv, some of the others along with Bajant Panda and others have been part of the entire narrative setting team in terms of what is the story that we need to take on ground, how is it that we need to approach. You have the Uttarakhand MP also and
Mr. Balooni.
yeah, Anil Balooni with us amongst that group. There is also some of the other BJP leaders, think tank. Sanjay Mayuk was there. I saw him in the pictures.
I think a word for
yeah.
Mr. Sachdeva. I think the way he's
Yeah,
turned around
Virendra
the state
Sachdeva.
unit. In fact, I vividly remember when he joined us on the exit poll coverage and you asked him that
Yeah.
very pertinent question, you know, this whole gudbazi that happens in the BJP state unit. And he turned around and he said, have you heard any gudbazi in the last 2 years?
Last 2 years,
And I
correct.
think it's a fair point. I think he's managed to paper over the cracks. He's been a quiet operator. He's been working behind the scenes. In fact, he was told by the leadership, you don't fight from,
Yeah.
from an individual constituency. You look after the entire state. And he did that. And today, I dare say he's a contender to be chief minister if it comes down to that.
I think there will be a lot of people who will be contenders right now and you know, keeping their hopes up. Somebody who beats former chief minister,
I think
if
Parvesh would be a
Pravesh
straightaway a
Sharma,
big
especially when the
contender,
Jats have voted and given such big votes. You also have if Atishi loses, Ramesh Biduri will put his hand up. Virendra Sachdeva is another person. Satish Upadhyay is there. Dushyant Gautam is there. There are some very, very key names within the Delhi politics and who would have, by the dint of their work, will be claimants. But we'll have to see how that works. We have with us Pradeep Bhandari and Mr. Badal from the Aam Aadmi Party also with us, along with Kamru Chaudhary. So Pradeep Bhandari, congratulations. Pictures coming through of celebrations that happened a short while ago. You are part of the narrative setting team. Tell me, what will be the final score? What's the expectation? It's 46-24 as of now. Was this expected, or will the BJP take this number happily?
No, we had expected this, Anandji. I think we should increase our seat tally by another 1 or 2 seats. But the overall verdict has been that Delhi wants Prime Minister Narendra Modi's governance, and Delhi voted against Arvind Kejriwal's corruption, his sheesh mahal and his misgovernance. From the starting, I remember doing multiple debates on your channel and multiple channels. The Aam Aadmi Party people used to say the narrative is not with them, they don't have the niti, they don't have the neta. But we had the neta, that is Prime Minister Narendra Modi. We were setting the narrative on the ground because the narrative on the ground was Delhi wanted clean drinking water, Delhi wanted their civic issues to be solved, and our promises got credibility when Prime Minister Narendra Modi in his rally said that he will deliver. So yes, we had the neta, we had Prime Minister Narendra Modi, we had the narrative, and our workers and our state unit was working quietly on the ground. Last time we had a 38% vote share. Our target was to touch a 50% vote share, as the Honorable Home Minister said, and our vote share as of right now is 46-47. So which means a 20% vote swing, 17% vote swing away from the Aam Aadmi Party. It's an anger election and hope in Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Well, Mr. Babhi Badal of the Aam Aadmi Party also with us, just quickly putting the contrast, 2020 or 2025, if we look at the Vidhan Sabha, look, it's almost a reversal, and in fact, if you were to compare this with the assembly wins or the assembly projections based on June 2024, where the BJP won the Lok Sabha, all 7 seats, it almost mirrors the 2025 performance if you were to take that the AAP and the Congress fought together. Mr. Babhi Badal with us, 62-24, I'm sure there will be disappointment and perhaps this was not expected, Mr. Badal. But the Congress says, हमारे साथ लड़े होते तो शायद जीत जाते.
देखो, first of all, let me put things in perspective. First of all, victory and defeat are part of the election process. But was it a level playing field? I don't want to sound like a sore loser, but the amount of misuse of authorities that the BJP put in, I think I would not be very proud of this election if I were in the BJP. So let me put this thing. First of all, it was not a washout for Aam Aadmi Party. Okay, we have been in governance for 10-11 years. Kejriwal Saab's style of doing politics is different from BJP. we do politics on the basis of our work, which we always categorically state that we have succeeded in doing this, and even not doing this. On Yamuna, Kejriwal Sahab was candid enough to admit that we have not been that successful for Yamuna. But BJP style is something else. They will fund opposition parties. They will try with their deep pockets. I am just reading a line on this. Corruption did Aam Aadmi Party in. On your channel only it is written. I want to talk about the corruption which electoral bonds. 7,000.
No, I think we can talk about all this. No. What I'm trying to say, Mr. Badal, I think one minute. Let's come back to the aspect that yes, it is disappointing, this number, whatever you may blame the factor. I asked you a simple question. The Congress has come out and said, "Saath mein lade hote to jeet jate." Do you agree, disagree?
I think the Congress can pat itself on its back that yes, the Congress has succeeded in alienating a key India ally, and the Congress has succeeded in resurrecting BJP in Delhi. Saath mein lade hote to the onus was on Congress. Congress is a very small party as far as Delhi is concerned. So I think the Congress needs to get its priorities right.
So, देखिए, Arvind Kejriwal trailing, Atishi trailing, and now I think we've got an update that Manish Sisodia is also trailing. Now, is that a referendum on the Congress or on the Aam Aadmi Party, Mr. Badal? Kamru Chaudhary, you want to respond to Mr. Badal saying that the Congress is a localized, is a non-entity in Delhi?
Absolutely. People think that Congress is a non-entity out here. But why did we fight the elections all alone is a big question many will be asking today. Basically, we fought the election to reclaim the share of our pie that we lost in 2013 because Aam Aadmi Party came up to substitute Congress, and it was obviously propped up by the RSS and the like-minded parties. But then, having said so, we are lacking in a lot of things. It is a time for us to introspect what we did. We never broke off the alliance with Aam Aadmi Party post the Lok Sabha election. It was Arvind Kejriwal ji who came out of the jail and said that we are going to fight the elections all alone. We said, so be it. Let us all motivate ourselves, regroup ourselves, and we went into the election campaign. Our cadre strength in Delhi was almost non-existent. We fielded all our top leaders in Delhi. Still the voters rejected. But it's a very welcome sign that at least on the whole...
Did you really field all your top leaders, sir, in Delhi? Is a big question. The other thing is, it started with Haryana, where the Congress there, Mr. Hooda, etc., decided we don't want the AAP. उनको 3-4 सीटें दे देंगे, उससे ज़्यादा उनकी औकात नहीं है, is what something which was said by the Haryana Congress leaders. So clearly the AAP said, ठीक है, आप हरियाणा में हमारे साथ नहीं लड़ना चाहते, दिल्ली हम अकेले लड़ेंगे. I think this is something which... But during the campaign, the gloves came off. The kind of personal attacks Mr. Kejriwal made against Mr. Rahul Gandhi and what Mr. Rahul Gandhi said against Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. So that was also there. And I think both of them, Mr. Omar Abdullah has said, lado aur aapas mein lado. That's what he has put out today. He's taken a jibe at both the allies within the India alliance. Pradeep Bhandari had
just candid 10 seconds I will take. Yeah, basically you see, as a Congress worker, I feel that our Congress party's alliance with the regional parties has been the undoing of the Indian National Congress nationwide. Be it Mamata Banerjee, be it Aam Aadmi Party, or be it other regional parties that we have allied with. They have only decimated the Congress, and I have no qualms today to say that at least Congress should fight alone.
Correct. So you are from that school of thought among the Congress party leaders, and I think many of the Congress supporters, voters of the past, or even people who are observing the Congress believe the Congress needs to fight and stand on its own if it wants to resurrect itself. Piggybacking or being parasitical will only hurt it further, and this Parjeevi tag will continue to haunt the Congress party if they continue down this line. So you are from that thought process. Pradeep Bhandari, had the AAP and Congress fought together, would the BJP have suffered? Because the AAP vote share plus Congress vote share is greater than BJP currently.
Well, Anandji, I look at it as a complete anti-verdict. The voters wanted to consolidate against Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. The voters knew that Mr. Kejriwal is corrupt and he is not delivered on the ground. Had the Congress coincided and collided with the Arvind Kejriwal-led Aam Aadmi Party, you would not have seen 1 + 1 = 2. You would have seen 1 + 1 = 1.25 or maybe 0.9. So it's not, remember Samajwadi Party and BSP had come together in the Uttar Pradesh assembly elections, and our vote share had increased despite them coming together and their own core voters voting us. So elections, according to me, as the Aam Aadmi Party individual is saying, is not mere arithmetic. It is about chemistry, and the chemistry on the ground was anger against Mr. Kejriwal, which nobody wanted to touch, and hope which people saw under Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Now what?
All three are trailing.
So let's
Sisodia is
ask Mr.
trailing,
Bhagat.
Mr. Kejriwal is trailing, and Atishi is trailing. So all three star cast of the Aam Aadmi Party. Atishi, of course, has been trailing since morning. She's not led even once by over 3,000 votes. Mr. Sisodia is trailing by 600 votes, and Mr. Kejriwal is trailing by about 1,200 votes. So all three star cast, they are neighboring constituencies, New Delhi, Jangpura and Kalkaji, all three are trailing. So Rahul Shivshankar, what does that mean? Like they say, you know, if you want to defeat an army, you have to decapitate the general. The generals seem pretty decapitated here.
Look, I've just written a little paragraph. Kejriwal's halo of Kattar Imandari eroded severely, which could now raise question marks about his long-term sustainability in politics for a party founded by him on the back of an anti-corruption movement. Being adjudged guilty in the People's Court will have implications for the AAP in other geographies. Kejriwal's best hope is now a quick exoneration from the courts. That's where he has to go. The AAP will find it difficult to continue this momentum, saying that we're a party of change, even in other geographies. This is becoming a problem. And you can now sort of say that this is, you know, the BJP's overbearing style of politics, this, that, the other. In the end, unfortunately, it's the people that judge.
So
and
look,
the people
look at the
have
big
judged.
faces of the AAP.
Yes.
Kejriwal trailing, Sisodia trailing, Ms. Atishi trailing, Saurabh Bharadwaj trailing, Somnath Bharti trailing, the gentleman from Shakur Basti, Mr. Jain trailing. The biggest names and faces of the AAP are all trailing.
Where does that
Now,
leave the AAP?
here's what the Bharatiya Janata Yuva Morcha has tweeted. Why aren't we talking about this, they ask. They say winning impossible, not wishing, putting Rahul Gandhi's picture. They've said winning impossible, 90 losses under Rahul Gandhi. 90 electoral losses is what they are claiming. Although in this election, Rahul Gandhi was not directly
Look, the
involved.
BJP defeated the BJD.
Huh.
Okay, so that was a regional party. The only victory that the Congress has had against a regional party is in the state of Telangana.
Huh.
Okay, that's where the BJP's cadre base was not the strongest. It also had problems within the cadre base. It also, and the Congress
I think the
won
Bandi
there.
Sanjay issue and the BRS,
Yes, and the Congress
that
also
did
won there by
undid them.
taking, pretty much cleaning out, you know, KCR's party. It took away a lot of BRS sitting legislators and other satraps and built its sort of revival around those. But look at the other scenarios. You have the BJP now winning at least 2 states from entrenched regional parties. The AAP is not a small party in the sense that, yes, it may be, you know, centered around one leader, but that leader actually won them a state. The only other party that has won, apart from the BJP, a state or 2 states is the Congress party in this country right now. Mamata has failed to break out of her borders. You know, the DMK has failed to break out of its borders. The left has got shrunk now to a pocket of Kerala, some people say, perhaps also now looking at a sunset. So I'm saying that fundamentally, the BJP is winning even at the expense of non-Congress parties now. The Congress is not even winning at the expense of those regional parties. Forget the BJP. So this is a problem for the Congress, and the Congress can't constantly talk about, in fact, it'll have to look for a new narrative, or it'll be forced into looking for a new narrative. It can't say caste, caste, caste is not returning. No yields are coming. Yes, it happened in the Lok Sabha. After that,
Chetan?
Yeah, I agree. There's an obsession with the caste census. But we don't know, like as a voter, what happens. Okay, it's good. I'm somebody of a who wants to do the caste census, but what will be my direct benefit? Are they going to increase the reservation? They've already done it in Telangana. It's becoming a big problem for the Congress now. They're saying first implement it in your party then, and they are not able to do it. So I think when something is not working, look at even the BJP. After the June 4th, they made changes. They made some distinct changes. You don't see that much of the larger than life image of the PM anymore.
Right.
It's more, it's very subtle, but there are changes because the world keeps changing. The country keeps changing, and I think the Congress needs to, is it working? You try a lot of things. It's okay to try, and whatever sticks, you run with it. But to keep on holding on to that one idea you had, even when it's not working, it's not, you have to capture people's imagination. And
Correct.
there has to be a way. Even Arvind Kejriwal did it 5 years ago, 10 years ago, but now it's not working, and something else needs to come in there You have to be inventive, otherwise.
Well, a viewer has just sent this for the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party. You talked about change and needing to adapt. So he said, बदले बदले से मेरे सरकार नजर आते हैं, घर की बर्बादी के आसार नजर आते हैं. वह जो बदले तो जमाने की हवा भी बदली, दिल की खुशियां भी गई, घर की फजा भी बदली, सुने सुने दरो दीवार नजर आते हैं, बदले बदले से मेरे सरकार नजर आते हैं, घर की बर्बादी के आसार नजर आते हैं.
This obviously, like, there is some joy.
I want to add a
there is some
caveat.
joy in his defeat, which is very strange because he was such a loved kind of leader in the capital, and now there is suddenly. I mean, what is the anger against Arvind? Honestly, I'm genuinely curious. What has he done so bad to people?
No, the anger. You ask former members of the Aam Aadmi Party about it.
I think Chetan asked me a very important question. Yeah. I think Arvind Kejriwal for the middle classes, and we are all from the middle classes at one level or the other, I think he was a new white hope. He represented a change from the old order, and I think there is almost a disappointment that, well, aap bhi waise hi nikle. There is, you're not that different.
It's from the Batman movie, right? He's the white knight that Gotham needed. He turns out he's not the white knight.
Exactly, that is what he said when he came to politics. We have come to change it. He started with the change, did he not? I mean, that electricity, that water, the governance, asking going to the mohallas lane, asking the contractor, अरे तुमने ये 4 इंच कंक्रीट लगाया, हेरा फेरी की है, हम तुम्हारा पैसा काट लेंगे, make it 6 inches.
हमारा पैसा काट लेंगे, हमारे को सबसे जरा कम रेट पे जरा शीश महल में काम करके दिखाओ.
शीश महल is the story. This is what he said. He did it. That abroad you see in the European countries, US, everywhere, that the work is done as the people monitor that. There should not be any hera feri in this. There should not be any corruption. He started with a very noble idea.
Internal लोकपाल किधर है? Internal लोकपाल किधर है आपका?
Sir,
then let him complete.
What he could not do is not a question now. That is already rewarded. You have seen it already. It is not that.
What is it that he could not do? What is it that he could not do? Boliye, aap boliye, Ravi.
Exactly. That what he could not do is that he could not play that honest politics, which he had come for. Okay, that
honesty
he could not
is not the best policy.
You said Sheesh Mahal. Why, when the people went over there, why the Sheesh Mahal was not shown? You could have shown it. So look how many crore curtains are there, or how many gold toilets are there. Show it.
It is all
show
shown.
It to the people. Now let the BJP show it to the people.
No, it is all shown. The BJP has actually committed that they will throw it open to the public in some form or the other. The next chief minister is not going to reside there. They have said they are going to donate it to the public. Sir, the point is,
we are back to square zero.
No, sir. You said that he could not walk the talk. Ravi ji, he could not walk the talk on honest politics. I think that's why a lot of AAP people found themselves disenchanted with Arvind Kejriwal.
We are the first lot of the founders, 320 people who had founded the party. Right. So we know it very well. From where we had started, we won 28 seats first time, now we have got 23. Correct. So we have reached where we had actually started.
Correct.
But in the meantime, this man has created the turmoil in the entire politics. Did he not?
No, of course.
I'll
tell you what. The AAP will be credited. Sir, I'll tell you, I have said this on record. The AAP will be credited that within a decade.
Keep the faith.
Within a decade.
It's only politics. It's only politics.
No. Within a decade of their existence, for a party to come up from nothing, from a people's movement, from an activist movement of India against corruption, to become a party which had national positioning, national presence in Delhi, a bonsai state, then in Punjab, then going into Goa, fighting elections, challenging, and becoming a national presence, is a case study in itself.
Now it's moving closer to 50, 48
so
to
48.
BJP
But
and
this
22
is also
to
a
AAP.
testament that when you say something, you got to walk the talk in the minds of the people. The Kejri model of governance has been questioned here. Manish Sisodia is speaking.
सम्मान दिया, लेकिन 600 वोट से लगभग 600 वोट से उसमें हम पीछे रह गए. तो मैं जो कैंडिडेट जीते हैं उनको बधाई देता हूं और उम्मीद करता हूं कि जंगपुरा की समस्याओं को वो हल करेंगे. जंगपुरा के लोगों की जितनी भी चीज़ें हैं उनको हल करेंगे. बाकी तो अब बाकी देखते हैं.
सर, काफ़ी टफ फाइट रही है, कैसे देखते हैं, कहाँ चूक हो गई?
नहीं, अब चूक तो आपको बताएंगे एनालिसिस करके.
Manish Sisodia conceded defeat there, saying I concede defeat, lost by 600 votes.
He has.
600 votes. Has Manish Sisodia conceding defeat? Kriha, let's get an update. Manish Sisodia,
636 votes.
606 votes. Manish Sisodia conceding defeat by 606
yes.
votes. Yes.
Yes. Manish Sisodia has in fact lost Jangpura. It is going to Mr. Marwa of the Bharatiya Janata Party. That has been announced.
Giant killer.
There's always also an important update on the Atishi seat from Kalkaji. She in fact now is leading by 900 plus votes. So that is there. An update on Arvind Kejriwal also. That entire trail margin is now gone up to 1844 votes. 10th round is being counted in New Delhi. 13 total. So 3 more to go.
Yes, and these 3 are again, as Smita had said earlier, that these are all the BJP stronghold booths that are being counted. Now, the AAP stronghold booths, when they were counted, Arvind Kejriwal was trailing by 224 votes. Now, that's ballooned up to about 1244 votes or 1844. 1844 votes. Atishi leading by a few hundred votes. That's
900 votes.
900 votes.
So then she becomes leader of the opposition, I guess, in case
if she wins.
If she wins, because there are still 3-4 rounds there. What happens with between Ramesh Biduri and Atishi, we'll have to wait and watch. But that's what it is. One of them concedes defeat, the second one facing defeat, and the third one barely leading. What does this imply? Babi Badal is still with us. Yes, Babi Badal.
600 votes is a bad luck.
Yeah, that's bad.
Okay, only Kamru Chaudhary is there. Kamru Chaudhary.
By Aam Aadmi Party that there is a horse trading going on. So सबसे घोड़े ही दिखते हैं सब.
Ji, you're saying something?
I said, they said, you also picked polo royal game example. आम आदमी तुम्हारे को कुछ नहीं दिखता गिल्ली डंडा का कभी एग्जांपल नहीं दिया 3 चक्कर still to go this that hold your horses I said that's because the Kejriwal camp has been talking about horses it's embedded in my head.
No, but this is
that means they felt that they are winning and they are going to get poached. Because why else would you?
But this is not a poached kind of election.
No, but
this is not a poaching kind of election. This is a decisive defeat of the Aam Aadmi Party.
Frankly, the horse trading narrative comes from the side which believes ya to hum harenge ya to ye phasega. That's where those who are confident of a full-fledged victory generally don't talk about horse trading.
I was anticipating a little bit of this because you saw Kejriwal's statement last night. He was kind of talking about the vote machine, talking about the fake narrative and all of that. So I think at some level they were kind of preemptive.
Sir, a lot of people,
they knew the writing on the wall.
Whether these results hold or not, a lot of people, the day he said that Yamuna genocide comment, that itself said that you are somewhere becoming defeatist. No individual, even politics-wise, would say that.
I began to doubt last night, and I said it on the show, that yes, maybe the AAP is in trouble when they made the horse trading remark, to be honest. That's when I realized that this is not quite looking good, and I think I made that comment to one of the spokespeople.
But can I ask you something, Rahul? So if Kejriwal loses, and we have a couple more rounds to go there in the New Delhi constituency, Mr. Sisodia has already conceded defeat, and these were the top 2, right? They were the face of Aam Aadmi Party. And if Atishi wins, she's currently leading, I'm told, but by a few hundred votes. If Atishi wins, and let's say Mr. Rai wins, what happens? Is there a generational shift in the AAP, or the top 2 still continue to call the shots? Leadership will continue?
Well, what can one say? The point is that does she have the brand width to lead the party on her own? I don't think so. Whoever, unfortunately in Indian politics, there is this saying that whoever controls the resources of the party. I'm not saying it, you're saying it. The resources of the party, they generally tend to. And also, remember, Atishi will have many people within the AAP who don't want her to be the plenipotentiary.
Also, she could still likely lose.
So she could. But I'm saying that as things stand,
who represents the AAP in the Delhi Vidhan Sabha then? Because the AAP still will have about 20-22 MLAs. So
is it Gopal Rai?
Is it Amanutullah or is it Gopal Rai? What happens?
She's very trusted, confidant of Arvind. He wouldn't have made her CM.
Yeah, but there'll be a rebellion.
She's the Manmohan Singh of...
No, if Atishi also loses.
How do you in a situation like
what I'm saying is if Atishi also loses, Chetan, if Atishi also loses, 3-4 rounds are still left. If Atishi loses, Sisodia has conceded defeat, Arvind Kejriwal loses.
So then
is it Gopal Rai or Amanatullah?
Go to a travel site, check flights to Chandigarh.
No, 1 second, Chetan.
I like the way you're nicely sort of plugging in your brand ambassadorial role here.
1 second, this is interesting. This is a very interesting question that Anand and Zach have raised. Now, hang on, just think about this. If you are in the CLP, in the legislative party of the AAP, and you are going to definitely have the leader of opposition, and you're going to have to pick somebody. How do you do it? Because there are many aspirants now. Of those 23 or 20 or 18 or whatever it's going to end at, everyone will say, no, we should be LOP. Why is Atishi going to be LOP? How do you convince the 18 others?
Kejriwal will choose the person he trusts the most.
Yeah, but how do you know that the
control of
people...
the party will depend
yes,
on this.
but Kejriwal, what moral authority does he have to make that pick
Yeah,
anymore?
but you know, the thing is
Congress
that...
में what moral authority Rahul Gandhi has? He's almost lost 90. This election will be 90.
Congress has genuflected before the Gandhi family, and of course, he's a member of parliament. His sister is a member of parliament. His mother is a member of parliament. So, but Mr. Kejriwal has lost his own election.
It's the same way in all the other parties where the icon of the party is the icon of the party.
No, I think this is going to be a
different narrative.
This is going to be a Gambhir crisis. This is going to be not an easy dilemma. I don't know if the AAP MLA... Now, see, this is the question that was asked of the
what
UBT.
Anand says. Whoever Kejriwal wants as the leader of the opposition will become the leader of the opposition.
Yes, maybe he'll be able to pick it from on that day, but I don't know.
No,
but will the unraveling begin?
Kejriwal, I think they have the same dilemma as they have with the Gandhi family in the Congress, because without him the party may just go
disintegrate. Just disintegrate.
Which is why I think, I mean, eventually they'll go with what Kejriwal wants.
Yeah, even if he's in jail, he's
still
holding the party together.
Okay.
If he wins his election still, I mean, having Kejriwal in the assembly with 22, 23 seats, BJP will have trouble.
Right.
Kejriwal is the quintessential opposition leader.
Abhijit, we have Anna Hazare live with us. We have Anna Hazare live with us. Anna ji, namaste. मैं आनंद बोल रहा हूँ. दिल्ली के परिणाम को देखकर आप क्या कहेंगे? I think we've lost the video with him. We'll try and connect with Anna Hazare. He's earlier quoted and commented saying Arvind Kejriwal did not listen to me. He got overwhelmed or perhaps influenced by money and power. But what a come down. The 2011-12, I very clearly remember Arvind Kejriwal right alongside Anna Hazare championing a new kind of policy, new kind of politics, and going against Anna Hazare's advice of not entering political, and the India Against Corruption turns political with the Aam Aadmi Party. How AAP was adopted, the name was adopted, all of that was there for the entire country to watch. Some founding members, including Ravi Srivastava in our studio, had envisioned a different kind of politics. Now, has Arvind Kejriwal walked down that vision, the original vision of the founding members, or has he deviated altogether?
What happens to that plank of anti-corruption? Do you feel like he will now face the full brunt of the corruption cases against him?
No, in fact, the first thing the BJP is going to do is to put out those CAG reports that somehow have not surfaced. And from there on, a further case will be built. Perhaps more will be slapped. Mr. Kejriwal will be swamped dealing with these crises. He will not have the width, perhaps, to concentrate on the larger picture, tied down. The courts could start, obviously, the cases could start picking up. I don't know if it'll leave, but he has to pray that somewhere the courts say, no, you're kosher, you get the ISO 900 certification.
No, and he does not have the access to funds.
He has to be in a position of power.
He does not have access to
Trump,
funds.
He has to become Punjab CM, really. Otherwise,
he does not have. The AAP does not have access to funds.
Not easy.
Punjab is already bankrupt. It was the Delhi coffers that were used, and the CNAG had made a note of it that about 800 crore had been spent in marketing the Delhi government, and that was what was used to increase AAP's national presence. That's gone. Access to resources gone. Charges of corruption.
In a state like Punjab, to have a non-Sikh, non-Punjabi as the chief minister is impossible. You cannot do it. I mean, it's like going to Tamil Nadu and saying, we'll make a Malayali a chief minister. It cannot work.
For the next time's election, maybe it's better if that party splits, like AAP Punjab becomes a separate.
I think the AAP should have read the writing on the wall. It went very confidently into Haryana, if you remember.
Right.
And said, no, nothing to do with the Congress party. We're going to... In his own village, in his own borough, family borough,
he lost.
The AAP lost its deposit.
Yeah. So Sangrur.
No, but AAP wanted some seats from Congress in Haryana.
Okay, we have Swati Maliwal with us. Swati ji, namaste. This turn of events, how it's happened, the mandate clearly for the BJP, in favor of the BJP, overwhelming mandate, a climb down for the AAP, big one, big hit, 62 to 23. Did you see this coming?
I think it is something that at least I was seeing coming because when I went on the ground, and I have been working on the ground for the past 5, 6 months, I have been visiting different constituencies. I have been raising the issues that are there, and people were very angry. People are very angry. You see, a lot of promises were made. We were told that Delhi will become a world class city. We were told that it will become London and Paris. And when you go on the streets of Delhi right now, most of the streets are broken. The sewage system is in shambles. नालियाँ ओवरफ्लो कर रही हैं वाटर अगर सप्लाई देखें वाटर द वाटर दैट इज रीचिंग हाउस is really polluted, it is dirty, it is stinking. There is just garbage, filth lying on the streets everywhere. So people are very, very angry. And I think this anger has translated into lack of votes
So,
for
Swatiji,
us.
if Arvind Kejriwal loses from the New Delhi seat and Mr. Sisodia has already conceded defeat, what happens to the future of the Aam Aadmi Party?
You see, it's a bit premature to say anything on that, but I really feel that what has happened is something that we all need to sit down and we need to think as to why it has happened. And according to me, one man's dictatorial attitude, one man's extreme arrogance, and one man's ability to just not listen to anyone else, and one man's sudden change with power and money, that suddenly he changes from somebody who's supposed to be a common man into a person who's building sheesh mahal, into a person who's just crying every day for getting more security, for more cars. I think that has changed the entire game, and it's very unfortunate, but I also feel that there is God, and what they tried to do to me. I was beaten up black and blue inside the room of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, drawing room of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal by his own PS. After that, the way they assassinated my character, everybody was made to believe that I am, trying to do some kind of drama. Why would I do something like that? I kept screaming, I kept shouting. Nobody came up to support me, to the extent that the man who beat me up so brutally was given Z plus security by Mr. Kejriwal, was made the advisor to Chief Minister of Punjab by Mr. Kejriwal. He's drawing a huge salary, more than a cabinet minister. He's been given a Lutyens zone MP bungalow to stay there. So the kind of protection and the kind of hatred that was protection for the person who beat me up and hatred for me that has been inflicted on me. I think भगवान के घर में देर है पर अंधेर नहीं. और घमंड तो रावण का भी नहीं, चूर चूर हो गया था घमंड तो रावण का भी. तो मुझे लगता है कुछ ऐसा ही हुआ है.
अच्छा, अभी ये खबर आ रही है सत्येंद्र जैन has lost and just one second, just an update. I'll come to you. Satyendra Jain has lost his seat and reports are suggesting that Mr. Kejriwal may also be losing New Delhi.
Okay, well that's going to be very big.
Parvez Samsung is leading by 3,000 votes.
3,000 votes.
That means it's curtains, really.
Yeah,
right.
curtains for
Let me just bring in Swati Maliwal ji. Swati Maliwal ji, thank you for speaking to us. Of course, this is in some ways vindication for you and your campaign, but how does the AAP go forward now? Mr. Kejriwal ends up losing his own seat, he loses moral authority, he loses the halo of incorruptibility. Does the AAP sort of sustain itself? Without Mr. Kejriwal, will there be others like you who will perhaps say, well, we are disillusioned by his politics, we need to move away? What happens and where do you go personally now from here?
I think it's very sad to think that the Aam Aadmi Party, which was a party that was actually the hope for millions and crores of people in this country, including me, is going to dismantle. I think it's a bit premature to say something like that. But yes, I think the leadership needs to take notice. The leadership needs to get down on the ground. The leadership needs to work for the people of Delhi. If they feel that they can beat up a woman and they can get away with it and they can just give 2,100 rupees to some women and they'll be vindicated, I don't think it works like that. Of course, the 2,100 rupees scheme was very important. But my question is that why was it not done 1 year before? Because there was even a budgetary provision for it. So just to keep doing drama and just to keep criticizing others and blaming others and not actually working. They revealed from from the attitude of Mr. Kejriwal can actually be revealed from a podcast that he made very recently. He said that Yamuna को साफ करने से वोट नहीं आती. ऐसे कौन बोलता है? ऐसे वही इंसान बोल सकता है जो बिल्कुल कन्विंस्ड है कि लोगों के काम करने से वोट नहीं आते. तो आज सच्चाई ये है कि लोगों ने इसी बात पे उनसे नाराज होकर आज हमारा ये हाल करा है. क्योंकि अगर आप लोगों के काम ही नहीं करोगे तो फिर लोग आप वोट क्यों देंगे?
Well, I think Smita Prakash is saying election commission is confirmed.
Yeah, that's what some are saying, that Mr. Kejriwal has lost, is what all channels are running. But I want to come to one point about Swati. She went to areas where people had voted for the Aam Aadmi Party, and somehow the Aam Aadmi Party took the vote for granted. And when we had the cameras out there, when she was walking in the areas, knee deep in filth and sewage which had not been cleaned, and women out there, the point is that वहाँ से लोग जीत जाते हैं, वोट दे देते हैं, उसके बाद कोई वापस नहीं आता for 5 years to come back and earn the vote. Nobody used to go back there to even campaign in those areas. And the women voters, we keep talking about women voters in every area. Women in this country are in charge of water and cleanliness of their homes. So they have, whether it is Rajasthan, carrying those matkas on their head, or whether it is standing in front of the tanker and living in those areas with filth in front of their houses. It was the women out there who silently watched her walk in that filth and were making the decision in their minds. I don't know if I'm right in what I saw, Swati.
I think you are correct. I think people were very, very angry. You see, when I went to Vikaspuri, we got 3 truckloads of garbage. We did not create that garbage overnight. That garbage had been lying in that road for 2 years. People were absolutely fed up. They had written to the MLA, they had met the MLA, they had protested in front of the MLA, yet nothing was done. So people were angry, and I think that anger has translated into the votes. What I did, I tried to serve Delhi the best way that I could, because I think it is very important to raise these issues, because I think elections should be on such basic issues.
Right,
it should be on issues that touch people. And I really hope that the party that comes in power actually works on these issues and makes Delhi a world-class city.
And we also hope that there is closure for you in terms of justice as to what happened, and there is some aspect of vindication, or perhaps confirmation of what you claim happened that night, and there is those who are guilty be punished appropriately by the law. Swati Maliwal, thank you for speaking with us, quickly getting you more updates. Amanatullah Khan leads, but Satyendra Jain has lost in Shakur Basti, and we are also given to understand that Arvind Kejriwal is not just trailing, but he may have lost even as Pravesh Verma is at Home Minister Amit Shah's residence to call on him.
He's trailing by more than 3,300
trailing
votes.
He's
Only
lost. So Arvind Kejriwal has lost. We have to take a break, but quickly can we just go across to Griha and get an update from the live result hub? Yes, Griha.
So we are not yet announcing that Arvind Kejriwal has lost, but he is definitely trailing by 3,000 odd votes. It's the 11th round, Anand, that's still happening. 13 rounds of counting as far as, so yeah, it is more or less done.
Yeah.
As far as Atishi is concerned, 2,700 votes. So 11th round of counting out of the 12 that's going on. She's leading by 2,700. So that's just a sliver of respite for Aam Aadmi Party
not just that. Atishi may just be in the clear. Let's see what happens in the 12th and the 13th round. But 1,100 votes, 900 to 1,100 votes in each EVM box. So Arvind Kejriwal has lost. So Arvind Kejriwal, Pravesh Verma has defeated Aam Aadmi Party convener and also the former Chief Minister of Delhi, Arvind Kejriwal. Arvind Kejriwal was trailing by about 3,000 votes, but now we can come back and say that Mr. Kejriwal has lost from New Delhi. Manish Sisodia has lost from Jangpura. Shakur Basti, you have Satyendra Jain who's lost. Atishi just holding by a lead which perhaps could see her pass the post from Kalkaji. That's what, and Ramesh Biduri could lose Kalkaji. But big setback that Arvind Kejriwal has lost.
Who thought that he could be Prime Minister? Arvind Kejriwal's political rise mirrors the Prime Minister's. If you look at the trajectory to the center, that is, he pitched himself in Varanasi against Prime Minister Modi. He thought he was going to be the next Modi or the alternative to Modi. He's gone. humbled by the people of Delhi.
So will AAP react in the same manner that the Congress reacts when they, under the leadership of Rahul Gandhi, they have lost the 90th election, supposedly. That's what the BJP handle has said. The 90th election under Rahul Gandhi, but he's still the leader. Will Aam Aadmi Party do the same thing, that regardless of win or loss, it is still Kejriwal
I think it
who
depends
leads?
entirely on the Punjab unit,
Yeah.
honestly. I mean, if the Punjab unit coalesces
If it's a true
around one leader...
meritocracy, if it is truly a middle-class meritocratic party, Kejriwal is gone. Remember, in the Congress, the Gandhis control 98 point some % of stock holding in a very important,
the reason I'm saying
It's
that
a
is
listed company. Last time I checked, it was not a listed company.
Power equations change. Those who have the mandate seem to have the power. Those who have the money will have the power. Right now, Bhagwant Mann will be the person who will feel that I am more powerful than Mr. Arvind Kejriwal.
BJP
He may also feel. So will Raghav Chadha. Where is Raghav Chadha today?
Look, in BJP, they fought 2 elections to make LK Advani Prime Minister. They lost 2 elections and then LK Advani was put to pasture and said, no, you cannot lead us in the next election. So they got their act together and there's a new person. You elect like that when you realize that a person is not acceptable as a Prime Minister or Chief Minister candidate. You just tell that person, him or her, step aside. We have to elect somebody else. That's how a political party is supposed to function. Imagine if the Democrat Party says, no, we want Kamala Harris again. You can't. Hillary Clinton lost twice and she had to make way and say, no, you can't come back the 3rd time. There was a Biden.
They were shown the door out of the party. Prashant
doesn't quite work like that.
So many others.
No, look, I'm very clear.
Kapil
I don't
Mishra.
think any politician in this country will willingly renounce power. Yes, Mr. Kejriwal has been humbled. He's lost his own seat. I think the idea of the Aam Aadmi Party has taken a serious dent. The idea that you can be a political outsider, challenge the system, run a state, run a national capital for 10 years, that has taken a huge hit. Of course, electoral wins and losses will keep happening. Maybe 5 years down the line, they'll win again. But the idea, the political capital of the idea of the Aam Aadmi Party has taken a huge blow.
You know, Arvind Kejriwal becomes Aam Aadmi.
Becomes Aam Aadmi. Arvind Kejriwal becomes Aam Aadmi, but more importantly, he was also not just did he contest against the Prime Minister. He said Modi model of governance versus Kejri model of governance. So it's the Kejri model of governance that's been rejected.
He saw himself
He's been rejected.
less. And Swati Maliwal, if she is to be believed, he saw himself as somebody, who has already become a challenger to the Prime Minister. And I think, the Prime Minister himself doesn't really like competition from any side, and from outside that, and he's realized that this one individual, I need to sort of show him. So the victory of Mr. Modi 3 times is all the more commendable now when you think about it in hindsight. One after the other, top leaders around the world, forget about anywhere else, have found themselves
Not as a politician, as a simple citizen, as a voter, I can say, arrogance from a neta does not work with the voter.
Yeah.
Aam Aadmi has made him Aam Aadmi.
Yeah, clear. Arrogance will not work. You need to have the humility. Charu Pragya is joining us, but we're compelled to take a break. The first one that we're taking since 7:30 this morning. So we'll see you and we'll speak with you, Charu Pragya, and with all our other guests here in the studio after a very short break. Stay with us.
One for you.
Co-powered by.
Yes, Arun. Revdi hai, jalebi hai.
Well, Jalebi hasn't ordered yet, but they are going to order it soon. That's what Virendra Sachdeva has told us. Let me quickly show you a glimpse. This is outside the BJP office. You can see these dhol nagaras are already here. Though the workers of BJP still to join them. You can see few of them, 3 or 4 workers around these dhol and nagaras, and this has already been started. In fact, once they will get the permission to go inside the BJP office, then you will see them going inside. But of course, the leaders like Virendra Sachdeva, Harsh Malhotra, they all have started arriving here at BJP office.
So let's contrast this with the AAP office. Let's contrast these pictures, if we can, with the AAP office. Anshul is also there. Arun, stay on with us. Yes, Anshul.
So yes, as you rightly mentioned, there is a drastic contrast out here outside the Aam Aadmi Party office. I'll just try and show you the stage that was set up this morning is still absolutely empty. Since morning, the only person who has gotten up on stage was the person who went ahead to check the mics over here. And since then, the entire environment over here is right outside the Aam Aadmi Party office is absolutely somber. Just a few moments ago, this news broke that Arvind Kejriwal is leading by a few votes, and then there was a little celebration that happened over here. But at this point in time, neither the workers nor any leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party has yet turned up at the Aam Aadmi Party office out here in the national capital. I'll just try and take in a word from a few workers of the Aam Aadmi Party. भैया क्या लग रहा है ये रुझान देख करके? ऐसा लग रहा है कि इस बार तो बहुत बुरी हार होने वाली है।
ऐसे नहीं लग रहा है, अभी तो है ना अर्ली ट्रेंड्स है, अभी फाइनल हो गए, लेकिन आगे आगे देखिए रिजल्ट विल चेंज।
केजरीवाल जी का भी ज्यादा अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है। 2000 वोट से तीन राउंड के बाद
थोड़ा मार्जिन तो कम रहेंगे, लेकिन जीतते तो आम आदमी
2000 नहीं 223 वोट है।
100%।
223 वोट है, 223 वोट से जीत रहे हैं, वो भी आप स्ट्रॉन्ग होल्ड बूथ से
223 वोट से।
We should not jump the guns as of now. We have to wait and watch. अभी टाइम बाकी है, so आम आदमी पार्टी is leading.
All right, okay.
बहुत ही कम मार्जिन है, तो कुछ मार्जिन नहीं।
वो तो पहले से पता है, इस बार थोड़ा मार्जिन थोड़ा हर एक का थोड़ा कम ही रहेगा। परवेश वर्मा तो हारने वाला है।
आपको मिला?
हमें नहीं चाहिए, हमें बीजेपी का नहीं चाहिए, हमें केजरीवाल जैसे नेता मुख्यमंत्री चाहिए। हमें क्या है,
तो वोट दिया था आपने, फिर ऐसी कैसे हालत हो गई?
दिल्ली दिल से केजरीवाल फिर से आई लव केजरीवाल। बिजली बिल जीरो, केजरीवाल हीरो। बीजेपी देगा धोखा, केजरीवाल देगा मौका। घर घर झाड़ू हुआ, घर भर केजरीवाल।
अब लेट हो गया।
Good. No. Okay, that's a passionate Aam Aadmi Party supporter and an Aam Aadmi Party voter, and they're keeping their hopes up. But like Smita Prakash was saying, that they have got the update. Nalin Mehta was saying at Money Control that they've got the update that the booths in New Delhi constituency that have been counted so far have been the AAP strongholds, and that's where Arvind Kejriwal is leading by a slender 224 votes. The BJP stronghold booths could be opened now. Will there be a change in scenario, or will only Parvesh Verma consolidate? Back live, and the verdict is out. Delhi has handsomely rewarded the BJP for a localized political campaign and punished the Aam Aadmi Party on the claimed Kejri model of governance because of non-delivery or perhaps lack of trust. The chatter in the newsroom continues, in the studio continues. 47-23, that's the score. Will it consolidate further in favor of the Aam Aadmi, of the BJP? Will it go towards the 50 number? We'll have to wait and watch. But as of now, these leads seem to have settled. Charu Pragya with us, and as we promised.
Sorry, I think we're calling the Kalkaji seat. I think she's won by 3,500 votes.
Okay, so Atishi wins the Kalkaji seat by 3,500. Manish Sisodia loses his seat by 606 votes. Arvind Kejriwal loses New Delhi by 3,000 plus votes. Satyendra Jain loses. Saurabh Bharadwaj loses. Atishi, the only perhaps among the star faces, and Gopal Rai, along with Amanatullah, the 3-4 prominent faces who have won for the AAP. Charu Pragya.
Good afternoon, Anand, and good afternoon to everyone in the studio. It's celebration time in Delhi BJP office. That's where I am right now. I can hear the dhol behind me. I have never seen the atmosphere so charged. It's wonderful to be here on this historic day. People of Delhi have taken Aam Aadmi Party ki jhaadu and literally swept this apda out of Delhi. We have worked very hard on ground. Let me begin by congratulating Team Delhi BJP, every single karyakarta. And the credit for this victory goes to Modi ki guarantee, what we have been talking about, what people at the national level are getting across the country and what Delhi has not been able to get because of petty politics of Kejriwal. And he's led the loss from the front. He was the first one to lose, and we're seeing the results for that. I can't tell you how happy I am today. Finally, I am hoping Delhi is going to see the progress it deserves as our country's capital. Better roads, better infrastructure, at least better air and water.
Kumar Vishwas says he's got no sympathy for Arvind Kejriwal. Anna Hazare says Kejriwal got overwhelmed by money and power, didn't heed to his advice. Your thoughts? Is that what hurt Mr. Kejriwal?
Yes, all of that and more. Because whatever way you look at it, every single model of his has fallen flat. He talked about the education model, but Manish Sisodia sends his child to Canada to study. Education model has come to a...
allow me to please interrupt you. Manoj Tiwari is joining us live. Manoj Tiwari ji, namaste. Anand Narsimhan बोल रहा हूँ. आपको बहुत-बहुत बधाई. बीजेपी को बहुत-बहुत बधाई. आप सबसे पहले तो स्मिता प्रकाश जी आज भी हमारे साथ बैठी, उन्होंने कहा जब जीतेंगे तब आपने कहा आप गाना सुनाएंगे, तो आज पहले गीत से ही शुरू हो जाए.
नहीं, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आनंद जी. स्मिता प्रकाश जी को भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. जैसा हमने अपेक्षा किया था वो मिला, और जैसा हमने पहले भी कहा था कि बहाने नहीं बदलाव चाहिए, दिल्ली में भाजपा सरकार चाहिए, झूठ बोलने वालों पे प्रहार चाहिए, दिल्ली में भाजपा सरकार चाहिए, दंगे के दाग अब नहीं, यमुना में झाग अब नहीं, पीने को पानी साफ चाहिए, कूड़े के पहाड़ अब नहीं, मोदी की गारंटी को साकार चाहिए था, और दिल्ली में भाजपा सरकार चाहिए था. हमने जो मांगा, दिल्ली की जनता ने मोदी की गारंटी को एक्सेप्ट किया. आनंद भाई, हमारे पास सब कुछ था, बस ये मोदी की गारंटी दिल्ली में नहीं थी. वो आते ही दिल्ली की जनता और देश की जनता ये नरेंद्र मोदी जी के हर स्टेटमेंट पे विश्वास करती है. मोदी जी ने कह दिया 2500 रुपया हर गरीब महिला को मिलेगा महीना, महिलाओं ने विश्वास कर लिया. गर्भवती माता को 21,000 मिलेगा उनके उस समय, तो वो विश्वास कर लिया. तो ये बुजुर्गों ने, सभी हमारे छात्रों ने, कोचिंग करने वाले बच्चों ने, जो साफ पानी चाहिए था उन लोगों ने, और वो विश्वास की जीत हुई है आनंद जी, ऐसा मैं मानता हूँ.
47-23 अरविंद केजरीवाल हार गए, मनीष सिसोदिया हार गए, सत्येंद्र जैन हार गए, सौरभ भारद्वाज पीछे चल रहे हैं, आतिशी जी जीत गई हैं. आम आदमी पार्टी का क्या आज अब भविष्य अंधकार की तरफ जाता हुआ दिख रहा है, या फिर आपको लगता है कि बीजेपी के सर में दर्द बनकर रहेगा दिल्ली में, क्योंकि 23 सीटें अब भी आपके पास हैं?
आम आदमी पार्टी समाप्त हो गई आज आनंद जी. आम आदमी पार्टी को दिल्ली की जनता ने आज नकार दिया, और अगले 5 साल में बीजेपी जो काम करेगी वो आम आदमी पार्टी को समाप्त कर देगी. पूरे इतिहास में लोग कहीं पढ़ते रहेंगे कि एक आई थी कट्टर बेईमान आम आदमी पार्टी. पंजाब से भी आम आदमी पार्टी को जल्दी ही पंजाब की जनता हटा देगी. आज कांग्रेस का वोट शेयर पहले से बढ़ा है, और ये आम आदमी पार्टी अब कहीं भी नहीं दिखेगी. जहां भी लोग भ्रष्टाचार करेंगे, झूठ बोलेंगे, धोखा देंगे, तो लोग अरविंद केजरीवाल की एग्जाम्पल देंगे. मेरा मानना है आम आदमी पार्टी समाप्त, खत्म, बाय बाय, टाटा.
लेकिन मनोज जी ये बताइए, उनका मानना ये है कि आपने ऑलरेडी समाप्त कर दिया उनको. जब वो सत्ता में थे उनके ऊपर केस डाले, आपने जेल भिजवा दिया, तो उनका मानना ये है कि मतलब सत्ता में रहते ही आपने उनको समाप्त कर दिया.
हम कौन समाप्त करने वाले होते हैं सर? देखो, इस देश में बाबा साहब भीमराव अंबेडकर जी का संविधान है, इस देश की जुडिशियरी है, इस देश की जांच एजेंसियां हैं, और उनके बाद जनता आती है. अरविंद केजरीवाल ने कहा ना, हम सब जगह से हम फंस गए, जेल गए, अब जनता हमको बचाएगी. जनता ने कहा चल हट, अब हम अरविंद केजरीवाल तुमको नहीं सुनने वाले हैं. अरविंद केजरीवाल का वो लाइन याद है ना, मोदी जी इस